Hola, this is Prayer Rabbit, and I gotta tell you, I find a great laughing place listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel. Zippity-doo-dah!
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. For the hub, we present 5 questions for MOWican. And look, this isn't your typical polished practice pixie dust and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in Walt Disney World every day checking out the crispy beef dumplings at Sunshine Tree Terrace in the Magic Kingdom.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink, talk some Disney, and conversate with JP.
Yep. And you guys have the easy part. All you have to do is listen up while we think up what we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And Rachel's out on assignment because she's traveling, and she is traveling.
She's traveling.
But we do have a special guest. Special guest, who are you?
I'm JP, the California consultant.
JP is back on the show. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Long time MOWican, man. So good to have you back on. And we're definitely looking forward to discussing these questions we have for you.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
And,
buddy.
Yeah, of course, we want to hear what all the MOWicans think about these questions. So look, enough of our jibber jabber. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with JP. Here we are on the hub, our main topic segment of the show. And as I mentioned at the top, we present 5 questions with a MOWican. And we are very fortunate to have a very long time MOWican back on the show. It's been a while since he's been on the show, but we're happy to have him on here. We got JP, our California consultant, all the way from out west, and his cat's there on the video. We can see it. It's very awesome. Love the fur babies. JP, man, welcome back to the Magic Our Way podcast, sir, man. It's so good to see you. Hear you.
It's great to be here, guys.
Yeah, man. So very excited. So we wanted to do some questions with him of various topics of such lethal cunning, of things that we're going to pit against each other and try to discuss things. And it'd be nice to get a good West Coast opinion on this. And yeah, you guys ready? Y'all ready to dive into this?
Hey, this is great because, I mean, we got questions from the East Coast, we got questions from the West Coast. This is going to cover all the Disney.
All the Disney.
Yes.
All right, so here comes the first one, guys. Expedition Everest, in Walt Disney World, of course, for those that don't know, versus the Matterhorn, which, of course, is in Disneyland, if you didn't know. Which is better? What say you?
I've got a definite opinion on this one, but I think we should let our guest go first.
As he's about to pour a drink in his mouth.
I saw him lifting the drink slowly, and I was like, this is a good time.
I would have a sip.
This is a really tough question. I don't think I can decide. Since I'm on the West Coast, I would probably favor Expedition.
Wow.
But you've been to both, so you've experienced.
Yeah. But Matterhorn is an original. No other park has it. Neither do they have Expedition Everest, so...
Yeah, this is one of those that's really tough because Expedition Everest does have a better story, better queue, and I got to be honest, last time I rode Matterhorn, I said that I think this is going to be the final time I ride it because it's kind of painful. I'm very tall. The ride's a little bit clunky. Every bump hurts. Every turn, I could feel pain, but I love the Matterhorn more than Expedition Everest. I mean, I feel like I've rode Expedition Everest enough times where I get it. There's really not that much to see. The fact that the Yeti comes at me 3 times in the Matterhorn, the fact that it's a Disney,
the fact that it works,
yes, a working Yeti. Imagine that.
Because the thing is, this is very tough for me as well. They're both steel roller coasters, right? Mm-hmm. So steel tracks. You know, Matterhorn was the original steel track roller coaster, but they're of 2 different generations, right? So you could argue that Expedition Everest, of course, is smooth. Well, yeah, that's to be expected because it's newer.
Yes.
You would hope they improve on but there's something just so very charming about the Matterhorn. And, you know, I fit well in it. You know, I'm not as tall as y'all. And so it's kind of like riding our Space Mountain.
You got a little more cushion for those turns.
I do. I have left to right cushion, whereas you guys are like up and down, north and south cushion.
Yes.
So yeah. So I fit nice. It's snug. It's good. It's a good fit. And you know, people argue the excitement factor of Expedition Everest, and I get that, and that's fine. And yeah, there are a couple of points in Matterhorn where it's like, yeah, you're kind of tooting along. But the thing that I enjoy that makes me happy is the water breaks.
Oh, yes.
So to speak. You know, they needed to find a way to slow down the coaster.
Yes.
But they didn't want to, you know, just use regular old, I think it was friction brakes at the time that they had before they had any of the air brake stuff, technology wise for coasters. And so the Imagineers came up with the idea of, you know, let's just let them splash in the water, you know, and then it's going to naturally slow it down, which it does. And I just thought it was brilliant. So I guess nostalgia and history and just, yeah, I know it doesn't necessarily fit where it is as opposed to like Expedition Everest, which has like a land built around it. But man, there's just something so charming about Matterhorn. Yes, the Expedition Everest has a better queue, but even still, you know, the Matterhorn queue still has that lovely little chalet-ish kind of look to it, like a ski loft kind of thing. You're going in the Swiss mountains that you absolutely just got to, it's just charming. Yeah, it's switchbacks, but yeah, it's so big whoop.
The way I answered to myself was like, if one or the other were closed and I went to Disney World or I went to Disneyland, which one would I be most disappointed by? And it's the Matterhorn. It's definitely the Matterhorn. Like last time we went, Eli can speak to this, like, Lily and Emmy went to go ride Expedition Everest, and we were all like, nah, we're going to sit this one out. Now, Grant, we had just eaten, so there was a little bit of thought put into it. But if this was something so mind-blowing, awesome, just a great ride, we would have toughed it out. And the fact that we just said, nah, we're good, it really goes to show that, I don't know, it just feels like Matterhorn has a better show.
You know what's funny is like I went the exact opposite. Like if this was a ride that had a 2-hour wait, what would I tolerate more?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know, and yes, Expedition Everest has a great queue, but it's geared for that. It was made for that. They planned for that. So if I put it on equal footing, like say they both just had like switchbacks, I'd probably want to do the Matterhorn more.
I would agree. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
E?
Yeah, it's pretty much a combination of what you two gentlemen said. I picked Matterhorn. I mean, we could go through all the criteria, but Dan, you pretty much covered it because we pretty much have the same ride experience. I mean, although I'm too tall for Matterhorn as well. I mean, I don't like my knees being bumped up against something consistently.
And your throat, yes.
And your throat. And then like when you hit the water.
The water breaks,
yeah, it does not slow my knees down from going through the plastic seats of the person in front of me.
Oh, those were your knees?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, if it was anything else, the person in front of me would be pregnant. What are you talking about?
I just thought you were just happy to see the Yeti.
I'm always happy to see the Yeti. And Matterhorn. But in Disney World, to your point, there is no Yeti. It's almost like going to the strip club and saying, hey, girl, what about that champagne room dance? You say, best I can give you is a stage lap dance. No, that's not what I signed up for.
So I should or should not ride with Eli now.
It's a good time.
Eli has dated women with a lot more hair than the Yeti.
That's true.
And
but at least they show up.
And
it's not just a shadow of them.
But similar to Expedition Everest Yeti, they don't work.
That is true. That is true. That's good. They don't work. And that's why they're out where they are. Just a fabled story. And yes, I would go with Matterhorn on this one as well for that. And before you get to the part where there is no working Yeti, the buildup is amazing. Just to give Everest the credit that it deserves. The buildup is phenomenal. But yes, all you get is a shadow. So yes, please give me the payoff that I feel I deserve for my hard-earned money. So hence, Matterhorn takes that.
So if Expedition Everest Yeti was working like it should, as Joe already intended, would that sway y'all's?
That would be a different.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't think by much. I still think I would go Matterhorn.
I think it would be a sizable difference for me because I mean, seeing what it was when it
better
worked,
in the coaster,
absolutely,
yeah.
Eli, do you ride Space Mountain in Florida?
Space Mountain, yeah.
Ooh, no.
Same reason.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty similar, right?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I would definitely ride Matterhorn more than Space Mountain's floor.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing with the Matterhorn too is I remember when I was little, riding the Skyway buckets through.
Through the Matterhorn.
I remember that. Yeah,
I remember that fondly. And I remember one of the trips when I went and it disappeared, and I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? What, huh?
Yeah. I'm so bummed I missed that.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I thought that was a really, really neat little feature. And so, and I was very sad to see that go. So, yeah, I guess nostalgia is winning out for me as far as Matterhorn goes.
We talked about that in a previous show. That's my happy spot. Like in a Vinny Disney park, sitting in Disneyland where you can see the Matterhorn, the subs, and the monorail going through. I can't even imagine how much my mind would have blown with the Skyway going through that. But I mean, that's just such a picturesque spot to just
be at peace.
Just to hang. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, mine is a rock, but
Yeah.
I totally get where you're coming from. Totally get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But props to my daughter because she's the one who came up with this question.
Mhm.
Lily is the one who asked this question. So
Nice. Shout out.
glad we got to do it.
Nice. All right. So let's go on to the next one here. And there's always been a lot of talk on a lot of Disney fan sites as well as podcasts and stuff about Walt Disney World having capacity issues and that they should have a fifth gate to help offset that or to help with the capacity issues and whatnot. So our question for each other is this. Does Walt Disney World need a fifth gate? And by fifth gate, if you don't know, a park.
Another park,
Yes, another park. Another park.
No,
I'm with JP on that.
we need to enhance the current parks
Yes.
because over the pandemic, we've lost a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we're at that point yet.
I would say, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't think Disney World needs a fifth gate. The Magic Kingdom apparently has all this room to expand beyond Big Thunder Mountain, or we can get a whole villains area. We can get Coco. We can get Encanto back there. So if you got that much room in the Magic Kingdom, you've got 11 countries that have been added to Epcot since it's opened. And apparently there's room for at least 8 more or something. And only 3 of those countries even have ride-through attractions.
Mm-hmm.
We still haven't gotten our Russian pavilion yet. We still haven't gotten our Switzerland. Greece.
I want Greece.
That would be a good one.
Brazil is a show. I mean, as many people come from Brazil, they should at least have that.
Oh, I love the cast members from Brazil.
I do too, especially when they're in the pool at 10 o'clock at night.
This we got to take pictures.
That is, look, Hollywood Studios to me is still way underutilized. You've got 6 attractions there that are basically must see, but beyond that, there's a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Animal Kingdom is a half-day park at best. So I think that they've got to develop what they have before we even think about opening a fifth gate.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like, I don't think we need a fifth gate at all. We need to enhance, to y'all's point, we need to enhance the stuff that's already there. You got to stop building hotel rooms.
Yeah.
For now, that doesn't help with the capacity at all. Yes, they can stay off site, but still at the same time, there's plenty of room for you to do stuff which you have and revitalize the things that you currently have and aren't really doing as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't think they need a fifth gate at all. So I don't think that conversation holds water at all.
Wow, I was really thinking this was going to go the opposite way of the.
So you're like, yes, they need a fifth gate.
No, I'm like, no. I thought this was one of the tougher questions.
Okay.
Honestly, because the inner child in me was like, yeah, anything new before I grow too old to ride anything. I want to see it. But then when I thought of it as an adult, as a person that has to pay to go to these vacations, it took a different spin to my answer for saying no. The biggest thing is the fact that I'm lucky to be on this podcast for many reasons. But one of the top reasons is the fact that when it comes to planning these trips, I'm glad we got Rachel as a travel agent. I'm glad these two guys right here, they're like, they helped to navigate, because I know nothing about planning a thing. I just you tell me where to go and I'm going. So I can only imagine if there is another park, number one, that's more money. Number two, that's more complications on the travel agent's end, because I'm not even trying. If I had to figure out how to go through Genie plus and then add this and then subtract that and then divide this and then tell my mom I'll see you next week, I can't do it. I just
Tell your mom.
Stay up past midnight.
Right.
Or 7 a.m., Danny.
Yes, and Danny and I's friendship has been tested many a time. We don't say it on the trip report, but many a time, this man's like, hey, I can't hang out with you late because I'm going to get up at 6 in the morning. I'm like, you don't have to do this. You want to do it? I'm like, no. And he's like, all right, well, then I'm doing it. I'm like, I love you. Okay. So I don't want to put our friendship through that strain. And look, and I like the fact that I'm sure they'll do awesome concept art. But like I've said, there's plenty of times, every time they do concept art for something, what they actually execute is
Is different,
never what's
yeah.
in the concept art. So I don't even want to have any hopes for any sort of new parking. But the main thing is the planning and what it would take to get to this thing. And I know that Disney would add a very exorbitant price to it. And unless they would put this park on layaway, I do not want to try to figure out how to pay for something
They used
new.
to do that, like a layaway plan where you could like slowly pay into an account. You remember that?
Did they?
Yeah.
I mean, they should bring that back. So, yes, between having to pay for something and how to figure out how to trial it, that's just way more complication that I don't need. And I think Disney, once they figure out how to perfect that with the lands that they have, don't worry about something new.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, the stuff that you have to make it just as profitable, right?
I agree.
Because if not, then you open a fifth gate plus with things that are not as doing as well, and it's just sucking up resources.
Correct.
You know, so then, I mean, I'm no business person, but it makes sense to me. It's like, why waste that?
I
you know,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And you certainly definitely don't want to see it go away, but I mean, you know.
Having said that, you know, looking at the construction for Epic Universe that they're going to get out there, it's pretty intimidating seeing all that go up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, should we go into the Universal question since we're here?
Why not?
Yeah. So since you brought up Universal and Epic Universe, if you guys don't know, is a Universal park opening in Florida. One of the questions that we were going to ask on this show is, what does Universal do better than Disney?
Ooh, me,
Mr. Cat!
Danny?
Why should take all the answers I got?
In one word, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is a killer ride.
Yes. That is what Universal does better than Disney.
My God.
Did I take yours?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry.
No, we had a chance for a Spider-Man ride and they blew it.
The Wet Slingers?
Yeah, you don't think so?
I've never been a Wet Slinger, so I don't
Well, you
know.
see,
I
you
haven't
Never
been on-
rode Web
Never?
Slingers? Oh,
No, because it opened like way after the last time I was over in Disneyland, which is I'm overdue for a visit.
Yeah, because you haven't come. Because the last time it was only Danny and Eli.
That's
and I never
right,
even
right.
saw them because they were busy.
No, that's not true. We reached out to you when we were at Trader Sam's, like, dude, finally, we ditched our. If you listen to that trip report, we had another family with us, and we ditched him. And I'm like, we're going to stay at Trader Sam's all day.
Oh
and
my
I reached
God.
out to you, and you're like, y'all were going to go see Evan Turner, I believe it was, right?
Oh, Dear Evan Hansen?
Dear Evan Hansen. Yeah,
I'm
Dear
sorry,
Evan
my
Hansen,
bad.
yeah, sure.
I said it wrong.
That guy.
It's like Dear Evan Hansen, but starring Tina Turner.
Oh, wow. Well, I can see passing this up to catch that, actually.
Yes,
That's totally justified. I did not know that.
yes.
I think the technology of web slinging on web slingers was a great idea, but coming after Toy Story
Yeah.
and Buzz Lightyear,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great ride, but I think that people were looking something more involved with Spider-Man.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, I think they wanted to see more of that.
I could see that.
I mean, it was.
More of Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to see more of Tom Holland.
I mean, a lot of people did, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the one piece of prop I would give them for web slingers, is at least you got a Spider-Man, the actual
that is true.
actor,
Yes.
to talk to you in the queue.
But thinking in a business sense, you know, those spider bots that they sold, that was a pretty good idea.
It was, but
That's my issue with it,
didn't
though.
last.
Yeah.
But it's not-
Seems
it's-
so commercial.
Yeah,
Like
it's not Spider-Man.
I would say that's my argument with it. It's like I don't like the additional buying of things
yes.
to enhance your experience, or you buy the spider bot, or if you buy this particular gov, you have a better experience or different experience on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, it just seems very business like. Whereas you go on Universal's Spider-Man ride, and it's a ride, it's an attraction, it's really well done.
Mhm.
You don't have to buy anything extra, and it's good. You know.
And I wish that they just would have done something where you're Spider-Man, you're flying through the city, you're doing crazy web tricks, like you're propelling yourself through stuff, or you're cannonballing yourself into the villain, like anything, as opposed to essentially a bunch of cockroaches just coming out of something and coming after you. Like, that's pretty much what the web slingers is. Right? You know, so if you got to take a raid, you're just shooting the thing.
I can't stand those things.
Maybe like Soren, but maybe on a Spider-Man?
Ooh,
see, there you
now
go.
we're talking.
Yeah.
See,
Now we're talking.
Something
I like that.
That's beautiful.
that'd be awesome.
You go with it, but you're on the screen, you're looking at the screen. I mean, look, if you can fly a Banshee and if you can soar around the world, you can definitely be Spider-Man for 5 minutes and you ain't shooting cockroach spider bites and things.
I just want to watch Spider-Man do his thing. I don't want to be Spider-Man. I want to watch Spider-Man.
Do you prefer just sitting there and riding a ride, or do you like to be immersed and involved and interact with the attraction? So you have your Toy Story Mania, you have your Smuggler's Run. Those are all interactive, right? And
Right.
So like a
going
Right.
a passive spectator versus active spectator.
But it depends.
Great question.
Yeah.
It depends. I think it depends on the IP and what they're going to have you do.
I just tend to find that those elements where they give you that is interactive is kind of, for lack of a better word, lame. It's like you can fly the Falcon, but you can only fly it left to right.
Yeah.
You can be in the Falcon, but you're the navigator. I don't know.
So
You can-
how would you
I'm with that.
have multiple passengers and then everybody would be involved in the interaction?
Of the Spider-Man?
I get what you're saying, because
Yeah.
I feel the same way. It's like, wait, I can only go left or right or up and down
Mhm.
based on my seat. But I think if you're looking at it from like, okay, we have to make this interactive for everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
How do we do that? How do we accomplish that?
I would have, okay, so this is what I would have done. I would have had one pilot, 2 side gunners, 2 back gunners.
just like the movie.
Yes, just like the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
where it's
we're
like
talking Smuggler's
In
Run.
like in
Okay.
swivel chairs, just like they do in the movie. I would have loved that.
100%.
I would love the swivel chairs,
Oh,
man.
man.
Now
Yeah,
we're
with
talking.
the little guns that go choo 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 choo. Looks like a sex doll. Or
You're like,
whatever.
oh, I got
Yeah.
the back. Oh,
yeah.
I'm just staring at the space that we've already been in.
Oh, that
No
would
idea
be...
what's happening in the front.
Right.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to
just
say.
shooting whatever's coming up behind.
No, you know, to answer your question though about passive versus active, I think it depends on the story that's given in the ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in this particular case, and I haven't ridden Web Slingers yet, so I'm not exactly sure what it's like.
Okay.
But I know I like the story of what's in Universal Studios' version of the Spider-Man ride.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I could be a passive all day. Spidey, come save me, whatever.
I've played the game, the Spider-Man game in the video game. Like, I just like web slinging. I just like jumping down on people, freaking webbing the bad guy, and like all that stuff. So I
Like
think
slinging your web everywhere.
I like to sling my web wherever I can, sir.
Face, neck, and chest.
That's it. That's what
Thwip.
heroes do, buddy.
Oh.
Thwip.
As the
Pearl
great Stanley
necklaces?
said.
Oh, yeah. There
Yeah.
you go.
That's right. Web necklaces. That's
Web
exactly
necklaces.
right.
Web necklaces.
Web
Love
necklaces.
Okay.
That's right. Tell them
Oh,
ladies
man.
get their spider sense on when I'm swinging through the
Let's
town.
get that domain
Okay.
name right now, Kev.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It gets
Webnecklace.com.
Yeah.
Redirectsamagicalway.com.
To go to kind of dip it in a different direction, let's say, because you're still talking about
Universal. Yeah, what do they do better?
So one thing Universal has is they have that Transformers ride. It's like,
Oh my God! You know what? You're right.
I know.
We have gone. Thank you so much,
You're
because we
welcome.
went way down a very
No,
no.
long path, and I forgot what the question was.
Yeah.
But it's still to the point of what we're talking about. Look, I got it. You can't see on
Yes.
video, but I got a Spider-Man shirt on. Like that's, I'm with that. And again, you launched this because, like you said, they do the IP of Spider-Man better. So this still goes to the point where we say, but the Transformers ride, let's take that, right?
Uh-huh.
Universal takes you, they say, okay, well, you're a robot, you're Transformer, but yeah, not really so much. And then they introduce you to all the Transformers. They're all shooting at
Yes.
you, they blasting at you, you feel heat on you. Like, I did that thing twice.
Did you
When
say
we-
pee
when-
on you?
No, put heat on.
That's extra money.
Oh, heat
Yes.
on you.
Yeah, no, if it's,
Right.
because if it's a Transformer, it'd be oil.
That's the happy
You
ending.
know,
I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know it was golden shower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Well, if
it'd
you
be
tap-
dark oil, you know?
If you're a Transformer and you tap under the stall,
Yeah.
they will pee on you.
That's called Take 5. That's called Take 5 oil change right
Yes.
there.
Oh.
Absolutely. So exactly, that's what they do really well, right? Is they immerse you in whatever the IP is that you're going for that ride on. And in this case with the web slingers, Disney kind of pulls you out of that. And that is one of those things that I was going to say for Universal, they do really well, is they treat the IP that they have with the utmost respect. I remember going to Universal years ago and seeing the Terminator 3D, like Terminator 2D.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
Oh yeah, that was a really good
Yeah.
show.
But I can't tell you.
Yeah,
I can't tell you what I was on, but let me just tell you that ride blew me away.
I was
It
sad when that
blew
thing
me
left.
Away.
That was an amazing experience.
It was a really good
Yes,
ride.
So,
Yeah.
so
T3, yeah.
Spider-Man and Transformers are the same ride vehicle, right?
Yes,
Essentially,
yeah,
yeah.
same
Same
ride system. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything's
Right.
coming at you. Yeah, same thing.
Well, then just to speak on that overall, I think Universal does a better job appealing to older boys.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's a great
Yeah.
point.
Then I would
Yeah.
say that, yeah, because I mean, so much of Disney is princesses, and where so much of Universal is, action.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so
No matter where you go.
I do think that they do a better job of that.
That'd be a whole show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%,
yeah,
yeah.
it could be.
Got me
Yeah.
fired up just off the first segment of it.
But
Mhm.
also, and maybe this is a rigged game here, but I do think Universal does Fast Pass better than Disney does.
Oh, that was one of my things I was going to mention. Yeah, the
Okay.
Express Pass I think is a
Mhm.
definite much better program and has been consistently effective. Over the years, I don't think they've done much as far as having to revise it and it still be effective.
Well, the fact that it's included with your $500 room
yeah,
that you're never in.
Yeah.
Yes, that in and of itself makes it more appealing to me because there's more of a built-in factor.
I think
to
it's
it.
great. It's like if you're going to
Yeah.
pay this much for a room that you're hardly ever getting, let's at least
Right.
give you this benefit.
Thank
Absolutely.
Should you not want to be in the room, but if you're in the room, and even the hotels are really really nice.
I think that's exactly right because I mean you've got the cost built into your $500 room. There's no need to get up at the crack of dawn to purchase,
Mhm.
said
Yeah.
Express Pass system. There's just an ease of planning. I don't even think there's park reservations at Is there park reservations?
No.
So yeah, Universal's a little bit easier on the planning aspect.
Yeah, I think for a vacation, you're planning so much for Disney. You're planning every minute,
Yes,
and it's work.
Mhm.
It's not a vacation. It's work, and Universal is able to say like, just come and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I will tell you, in Tokyo, it's kind of the opposite.
Oh, no.
Really?
Oh, do tell.
Wait, did you go to Universal out there in Japan when you went?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, we got to do a trip aboard.
in Osaka. It's
Yeah,
in Osaka.
Osaka. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
Osaka.
we had to buy certain passes. They have like you choose. I had to make an Excel grid in order to
Oh, wow.
figure out their fast pass system.
Dang.
Yeah,
Whoa.
That's
So-
crazy.
That's next level.
it's
That is
like
wild.
you can get these 4 rides for this price, or you can get like these 7 rides for this price. And we bought 2 different 1.7, 1.4. And
Oh my
the
God.
total was about $200.
Oh my God.
With that's US.
Yeah.
The total with the entrance to the park and your fast pass system.
Wow, that's crazy.
Another point I would like to say, it's a lot easier to get alcohol there than
And Universal? Yeah.
Disney. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
How you doing? How you doing? Let me talk to you. I'm just saying.
You just embodied the Spider-Man moment I did to you. You just stole mine.
See how that
motherfucker.
that's why I go to sleep late. You get up at 7 in the morning, and I come back up the next
Surprised.
day.
How many people are just like content? Just like is like, give me a bar, and
Yep.
as long as I can get a drink, then fine, I'll stand in line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's easier there where you can get the drink, you kind of chill out. It's not like you got to move, go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely a
It's
lot
a more
more
relaxed
chill there.
atmosphere, yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing I was going to break it out simpler is that I think the Universal does long walks better than Disney does.
By the beach?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so what I mean by this is like if you go to Universal Florida and you're walking from the parking garage, they have those moving sidewalks, which make it very easy to get from a long distance to point A to point B. Whereas, like, yes, the trams came back, but still, if you had to do a long walk, it's a long ass walk.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like that in Disney. in either place.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I'll say like, hey, they thought about it. I mean, you have the option to walk
Mhm.
if you want to do that, but if you're not a heavy walker, you can take those moving sidewalks all day and get there and not be exhausted by the time you start even before you begin the park.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that Universal does Halloween better than Disney? Is it fair? Because I mean, Disney obviously appeals to younger kids,
Well, that's the
so
thing.
they can't
yeah.
go as far as Universal.
The audiences are different, so I don't know.
Right, it's a different audience, so I don't know that it's a fair criticism.
I'm gonna say that Universal's Horror Nights is better than Disney's Halloween parties,
That's so scary. Yeah.
but Disney's Halloween season
Yes.
is probably better. So for more normal day guests, right?
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah.
probably better than Universal.
Well put.
That's
I love
great. Yeah.
that nuance.
I like that. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yes.
Because the season for Disney is, you've got the decor, the food,
Yes.
and Universal is mainly just about the night.
Right.
Agreed. But I do think that Disney over relies on the food and snack options
Versus the
Like,
experiences.
versus the experience. Thank
I
you.
think when you put it like
Agreed.
that, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because Universal does not do food well.
No, not at all. That's
Fair criticism.
Yeah, it really is. It's a small list that Universal does do better than Disney, but what they do get right, they really nail.
Mhm.
But food is just Disney's got them
Yeah.
by the balls on that one.
Yeah, you definitely have different levels of dining with Disney as
Yeah.
opposed to Universal. Like, hey, we got a burger and some old fries. What do you want?
All right, for timing purposes, we need to move on.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So this is a question I need JP's insight on.
No.
Get
out while you can, JP.
I need JP's non-consensual input on this.
Non-consensual.
Non-consensual. This is a non-consensual question.
The show got rough all of a sudden.
Yes.
It hasn't been rough already.
What should Disneyland do with Critter Country now that Splash Mountain has come over to New Orleans Square? Critter Country is basically the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So
And Hungry Bear.
in the Hungry Bear restaurant, exactly. So what should Disney do with Critter Country?
I don't know that answer. I am a fan of Critter Country. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember
Country Bears?
Brer Bear, Country Bears.
Oh yeah.
And since I'm on the West Coast, we didn't get Country Bears. We lost it. But I remember before Splash, there was just a hill there,
Mhm.
and you could hear the bear snoring up
Mhm.
on the hill
Oh, cool.
as you're passing into Critter Country. Well, ideally, I would probably say, got Winnie the Pooh, bring back the Country Bears, but I know that won't happen.
Interesting. Okay.
Wait, could it be like a Country Bears attraction or a ride
Like a dinner show?
instead of a instead of a show, but an actual ride instead?
a ride.
Could you do that?
I don't know if they would have the capacity.
Okay.
I mean, if they had the space, great. I would love a Country Bear ride, but if it was done correctly.
Yeah, that's always a trick.
Can all the bears just get along?
I love Country Bears. I mean, when we went to Tokyo, I was buying as much merchandise as I could.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And every time I go to Florida, I'm always desperately trying to watch the show.
Seriously, I didn't know you were a big Country Bears fan. I'm going to have to.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, my grandfather's name was Albert, and so everyone called him Big Al. And so,
Oh, nice.
yes, there's a cookie jar that
Oh,
we
yeah.
bought in 1970, whatever. And that was the one thing that
I have a picture of that.
we inherited,
Yeah.
and it's still sitting up there, that Big Al cookie jar.
I have a picture of that when we started this
Yeah.
podcast, and we used to record at your grandma's house
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's
because I thought that was the coolest cookie jar.
Yes. No, I'm a big fan of the Country Bears as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a dinner show or something like that put in there. But I'll tell you what I would do. I would. Wait, he's already laughed.
I just had a picture when you said that of
Okay.
a Country Bear dinner show,
Uh-huh.
but it would be like this Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
But I mean, if they did it right, yeah,
Yes.
they could maybe change Hungry Bear into a dinner show.
I can see
Because
that.
I'm like, look, you can't do arcade games because most kids have better games on our iPhone. But let's say you did a Country Bear dinner show, but then you did like hatchet throwing or axe throwing. That's like a new thing nowadays, right? Where people get the axe and they throw it at the thing.
Yeah.
And it lands in the target zone and
Yeah,
everyone plays.
Sure.
That'll never happen at Disney. But if you
Yeah.
did that would be something interesting.
Yeah, you can put you can make the hatches magnetic. Like another,
They have those.
metal
They have,
wood thing.
they
Just
have Velcro versions.
yeah,
I've seen it some places.
I get what you're saying though,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
that's a
that's
good
fair.
idea. So you can keep that safe.
So here's what I would do, though. Seriously, like this is what I think I would do. I think I'd leave Winnie the Pooh alone and just take the Hungry Bear restaurant and make that into an attraction. Take Critter Country. It's not Critter Country anymore. It's the 100-Acre Woods. And we're going to take the Hungry Bear restaurant and we're going to turn it in kind of similar to what they did in Disneyland Paris with Alice's Curious Labyrinth.
Okay.
Do like the 100-Acre Woods where you get to explore like this little maze kind of thing where you get to see Pooh's house and Owl's house and Eeyore's gloomy place. All these little things from Winnie the Pooh. That's what I would do with it because you get to. What?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Eeyore's gloomy place.
Yeah, well, that's kind of his thing, right?
It's like, kids, if you're in your feelings, you can go over here.
Yes, it's a new world. It's a safe space.
Yeah,
You won't be triggered here.
Yes. Oh, bother.
You know,
The only other thing I think is like maybe if you wanted to, maybe you could make it part of New Orleans Square and turn it into a swamp and do like a Rescuers type of.
That's what I was saying.
ride.
We got critters around here. We got tons of critters around here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rescuers was kind of based in New Orleans as well. Not just Tiana. Rescuers. You
I love
remember?
the Rescuers.
Those are cool movies. I like those movies.
Yeah. Imagine boarding an airboat and taking a trip through Devil's Bayou
Sure.
to save Penny. Like that would be kind of cool.
That'd be a great ride.
Yeah.
Like on the airboat.
I would
Yeah.
rather have that than Pooh.
There you go.
You guys have never been to Tokyo?
No,
It's on a
want
bucket
to.
list. I want to. It will happen
And-
before I die.
If you go to Tokyo, you will never want to ride the American rides again.
Oh,
Really?
I see what you're saying. Yes.
Tokyo's attraction is so amazing and it is so old. It is much older than the parks that we have in the US, but it is so good.
Really?
I've always
Yeah.
heard that what we've gotten over here as far as the Winnie the Pooh attraction in Disneyland and in Disney World is crap compared to what they did in
Yeah.
Tokyo. I've
Oh
always heard
gosh,
that.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
freaking go.
the closest I got was drawing Project Geisha. That's
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
JP. Like you've hit on something here because like
Yeah.
Tokyo is kind of our wish list.
Yeah, that's the
It will- it
bucket
will
list.
happen.
Let me know. I'll go with you.
Oh,
yeah.
we would love that.
Yeah, we'll swing by LAX.
Just
We'll
don't
pick
go
you
in
up.
the summer.
Yeah.
Don't go in the summer.
Don't go in the summer. We went in June and it was hot.
Really?
Wow.
It was
Good to
hot, and
know.
They said, just be grateful you're not here in July or August.
Oh, it's like here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
Oh,
pretty
yeah, I guess
hot.
so. I guess.
Yeah.
It's like every day here.
All right, Eli. What would you do with the Disneyland Critter Country?
Wow, that was a tough one to come back after you on that one, Dan. That's definitely not a Spider-Man conversation for me, but
I mean, with all those woods, you could have Spider-Man.
yeah, you know what? Yeah,
And cockroaches.
you could have all that action. I
Turn
do-
it into Wakanda.
Ooh.
Hey, it's west of the Mississippi, right? They could do
No.
it. They could do Wakanda.
No.
Yeah.
No, they can't do
No
Wakanda
Wakanda.
Why not? Why not?
because it's too
No,
small.
you would want it done right.
It would be
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Yeah.
it would be a Wolverine trading area there. Like anything Marvel I could get in there, I totally would. But try to
Gambit's Love House or something.
Oh,
Kevin wins.
Gambit's House of Ill Repute.
Yeah. Yeah, and then right next door you could have, because this is where my man went. You could have like Louis Cabaret Burlesque Club,
Oh,
and then you could have like a shooting gallery where it's like just two levees and you just shoot nutria from keeping it from eating. Yeah, because I mean the nutria. For people that don't know, nutria attack the levees and they make it weak. So usually they try to trap it and
You
kill
want to
them.
describe what a nutrient looks like, though, for those?
Yeah, it
who
looks like
don't know?
just a big rodent, like a big rat, like a big fat rat. They're huge, and they tear up the levees. And so people trap them or they shoot them or they're just infest and they just weaken levies.
Yeah.
So that's why I came up with like, oh, shooting gallery, we just shoot nutria.
It's like a rat. It's like a rat if they were the size of like what do you say, like a corgi.
gopher.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, they're pretty
It's
destructive.
freaky when you see them, and then they look at you and they're like, "What do you want? I'm to suck your breath
I'm
out."
busy. Yeah,
If you've ever seen Caddyshack, that is
times 20.
Right.
Yeah.
That is,
And they don't care about you. They will do whatever they want because they're nutria.
I was
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's kind of funny you say that because I think they should definitely. I don't want them to get rid of Winnie the Pooh, the IP there, because number one, that's part of my childhood. Number two, it's still a classic thing, and I know that they're gonna go ahead and put Tiana in there, and it's like, here you go, we're revamping this, but leave Winnie the Pooh alone. He's a very peaceful bear, you know. He did his thing. So I think if there was a way to do a mesh of the two properties, so in other words, keep it as it is, but then add something that had like a New Orleans flavor. Like I was actually just gonna say, yeah, put maybe some other animals in there that are like friends of Pooh. I didn't think about a nutria rat until you said it, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you know, have a nutria friend.
There's the area where they have all the good sweets, and so the name escapes me right now. But you know, you go in and get like all the candies and all the stuff that's right there. Add some pralines in there. You know, go ahead and still give it to.
Yeah, like I haven't seen that ever mentioned on any of the menus where it's like, oh, it's a New Orleans restaurant. No, pralines. Pralines is a very big New Orleans candy.
It's like brittle, but it's not brittle.
It's like a think of a sugar cookie.
Yeah,
with pecans in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as hard as a peanut brittle, which other people make, and but it's a lot softer, more decadent.
If done right,
rich. Yeah.
It'll literally melt in your mouth.
Because peanut brittle is kind of hard. Yeah, if you're familiar with that, but ours is a lot softer.
But if you have a restaurant that does that,
really?
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. But then, like this, I just can't remember the name. But I'm sorry, y'all. I can't remember the name of the sweet shop that they have off here. But yeah, I would put that in. Or even
Pooh's Corner.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is good.
And even have people make it in front of it if you want. But in other words, yeah, put the New Orleans tradition in there.
That's very New Orleanian because you got to see like when they would make fudge and everything like that.
Yes.
Like beignets as well as open kitchen, so you can watch people make the beignets.
Yes, and I think that helps the interactive experience. That helps so anybody who's not from New Orleans, because I think from the last time we talked about it, that kind of stuck in my craw. Because I've lived in other states besides New Orleans. And when they're like, oh, you're from New Orleans, check this out. I burnt the hell out of this steak. It's Cajun. Like, no, that's not how it works.
It's blackened. No, it's not blackened. It is blackened.
There's a difference between blackened and burnt. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And it's like, what do you mean? What is this? Hickory flavor. Like, no, that's not how it works.
No.
The other thing is, so Tiana, she comes in and, you know, she's friends with Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh like everybody. So I just don't think you disrupt that. But what you could do is you own Marvel. Why not make a comic book that illustrates how Tiana and Pooh are friends? You own these characters, make them. It's still nice and kid friendly. Explains what's going on, so there's no speculation from any tourists, anything, and it doesn't sully your brand. Now you sell the book, so now you have a whole new land, but it has a whole new mythos to it. I think that's simple.
Yeah, this Pooh, my bear friend.
Yeah, it's my guy.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought outside of it, but I don't want to get rid of it. Is my overall point.
Okay. What about you, Kevin? I haven't heard of you.
Well, no, yeah. So two of the things I already mentioned were the goofy thing. It's like first thing I thought was like, oh, Louis Burlesque Club, but I know that would never fly.
I'll go to it though.
But you know, if you're gonna do Critic Country, I was gonna say, why don't you just make it like Bayou Country? You know, so and that's where you get the better Louisiana food than what you got at Tiana's Palace.
Yeah,
you know, you can get the better gumbo, you can get actual jambalaya, you can get red beans and rice, you can get real beignets, or you can get boudin balls and boudin, you know, and stuff like that.
25-cent margaritas.
Yeah.
That would require them admitting that Tiana's restaurant is not really quite.
Well, no,
it's a side thing.
Well, Danny, what they would do, they would go to Dallas and research South Louisiana food, and that's what they get. Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
All right.
Yeah. So that's what I would want. Just make it the Bayou. You can have Kirk's house somewhere, you know, just to visit, whatever. You know, like a walk. You know, have like the Mickey's house where you can walk through. You can do it with Kirk.
Why don't you say something making it to Kirk's house? I really want to go to Kirk's house.
Whose house? Kirk's house.
Kirk's house. You're right.
All right. Last question.
All right.
Oh boy. Okay.
What franchise, if Disney could, because we're not saying they have the funds, But if Disney could, what franchise should Disney acquire next?
Kirk's house.
Kirk's house.
Whose house?
Kirk's house. Yes.
There we go.
Yes. Franchise.
JP, you're the guest. You get to go
Yeah,
first.
go for it, bro.
I say nothing. They need to get rid of stuff.
You need to get rid of
That's
stuff.
a good one. I agree with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I do not think that we should be expanding by buying another piece of property. I think we need to get rid of and recenter on the entertainment.
So you think they should purge, not build up?
I think that they should purge. I think that they should. Well, I love Marvel. They should hold on to Marvel.
Yes.
And I do love Star Wars, so I think they should hold on to Star Wars.
Okay.
Yes.
And Pixar has very much been part of Disney for so long, but Pixar has pretty much been so incorporated into Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It's homogenized.
I don't think that we really need to be in the sports industry.
That's fair. I agree with that.
That's my opinion. But
Okay, no.
It's very me because I'm not really into sports, so I really don't care. And I don't think that we should be sticking our nose in there. Now, if it's making a lot of money,
Mhm.
sure. But if it's not, I don't see the brand expanding to that.
Okay.
Fair.
I think that's
Fair
fair. I
enough.
mean, I'm into sports, but it's like I don't think they need it because they haven't really done much with it.
Oh, so you were JP, so no new franchises.
No new franchise, but I think they should acquire the balls to actually do something good with the Muppets.
The franchise is the balls. Get balls.
The acquirement is the acquiring
Well,
the balls to do something righteous with the Muppets.
That is true.
And treat
That-
it correct.
They are sitting on Encanto.
Agreed.
They're sitting on Coco. They're sitting on Moana. None of those really have new attractions going
No.
for them. So it's a totally understandable answer.
Yeah.
Because it's there's so much that they need to develop, and hopefully we'll find out in a couple of days.
Next week. Yeah.
So
We're
by
recording
next
this, yeah.
week, when we
Or
record,
yeah, this week when you listen to
we'll
the show.
know
yeah.
where they're going because they do need a Moana. They do need Encanto. They do need Coco, and these are great franchises for them. I would say this: one, I do think you need to bring more young boys into Disney, and they really don't have a property for that, but they're doing Percy Jackson, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's intriguing. So I'd like to see what happens with Percy Jackson. If Percy Jackson takes off, I think that could be something that you could easily add to the Animal Kingdom, because Animal Kingdom was supposed to be about animals that never existed, animals that used to exist, and animals that exist currently. And I think that would work well within the fantasy side of things, where you can have the Hydra or you can have the centaurs. that kind of thing.
okay.
Yeah, that would work.
I like that.
Because he's like
Yeah.
the counterpart to Harry Potter, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot. Okay.
Well, I love the books, and Rick Riordan is the author, is involved in the series, so I'm excited about that series.
Mm.
Oh.
Me too. Like I can't wait to watch this. I want to see what they do with it. An Edge from WWE is going to be in there.
He's Percy Jackson.
No. He's like the teacher. I think he plays the
Chiron.
Is that
Chiron or Mr. D?
is that the Pierce Bronson role from the?
Chiron is the Pierce Bronson role.
There you go.
So I never saw the movie. So
But-
okay, so all right.
Gun ahead. What franchise should Disney acquire next? I'm going to tell you right now, and I think I've said this previously on this show. Hotel Transylvania.
Oh yeah. Absolutely,
I
yeah.
want Hotel Transylvania in the Disney parks. I would just love that Kuka arm system, like
Oh,
being
yeah.
used all throughout that attraction, where you like are just going through different rooms, like to have a whole area built up where you have that little village that Mavis visits,
Oh,
where
that'd be
they
great,
use
yeah.
the zombies. But if Disney get a hold of Hotel Transylvania and do monsters, but with a more kid friendly twist, which is more up their alley,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
You know, along the same lines, I was going to say Pokemon.
Pokemon.
If you want to get, that's. I mean, granted, it's not of our generation, but I mean, there's a lot of people, especially boys, that do the, Pokemon Go or the video games. Or
Sure.
Well, it started within our.
yeah, it started with that,
Lifetime.
but I never really. It was never enough. I mean, I guess I wasn't young enough to get into it as much as people.
No,
are
we would
now,
have been in
but-
high school.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's partially owned by Nintendo, but I don't know. They're not using it for Nintendo World. They're capitalizing on Mario franchises
Mhm. Sure.
and stuff. But so I mean, I don't see why they couldn't license out
Pokemon.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it comes with all the interactive elements. You can make interactive rides, and it would appeal to a lot of young people.
You got that app that people play now,
Yeah.
so you can take that in the park and then make a whole day out of that.
They're not using it.
But it's universal.
Is it fully universal? Because it's like I saw it was like 3 different companies. Nintendo. It's like the Pokemon company was trying. I don't know if it was licensed out to Universe. Maybe it is, but that could be another something where they negotiate. But I know it's Nintendo. There's 2 other companies that are associated with them that own like the Pokemon company as a whole.
Oh,
so I don't know. Maybe if Universal is using it, then maybe they do license it out. But I know they don't. They're not. Universal's not part of the Pokemon company.
So,
Well, I took a blue sky approach to this. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to do it. I did. Because it was like, well, what would you like to require? There were a couple that popped in my head. I think like the other day I was telling Danny about a couple of them. But this is my. Can I do a runner up or no?
well, yeah, sure.
Honorable mention.
Get as much in there as you can, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I would love if they bought AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
Oh, wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
That, only because number one, it's a new thing, and I just would like them to have a little more funding. But I think it would just be funny to say that because most of this stuff they can do it in Orlando. Wrestling is big merchandise wise, so that's more shirts you can have in your shop if you're Disney. You can have like your nice little meet and greets if you want to. But it's like Disney buys so many different properties that they have a hands-off approach on that still gives them revenue.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally a fair one. And we just watched a pay-per-view the other week where they sold out Wembley Stadium in, was that London?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They made serious bank. And I know if Bob Iger's up in there, he like bank. That would be fun. I just want to see.
Wrestling.
I would like to see what Wrestling World would look like. Like, what ride do you ride?
The cage match
Wrestling.
experience.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's that?
The cage match experience.
There you go, little Jimmy. We're going to hit you in the head with a chair.
In a chair, but it's made of foam.
But you got to climb out.
It's a foam chair. Why
We'll
not?
hook you up to a bungee. It'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, you go ahead, you get some dishes named after wrestlers.
How about The Rock? The Rock has some Disney contracts. you know?
Yes, he does.
Yes.
He could be part of it. You could smell what he's cooking.
There you go.
Why not?
Why not? You
Or
just
smell him. I don't know.
Hey, you go out there and buy
Whatever you're
Ohana.
into, whatever.
But
You
again,
smell him and his Terramana tequila.
oh my goodness. But again, that's why I was in my honorable mention. It was like, that would be cool to see. But yeah, like
Sure.
you said, how does wrestling work in a
I think
park?
you mentioned that because nobody really has that.
No one has it, yes. And I don't want to see this guy strong. I like the competition.
What if,
but,
like, to JP's point, they gave up all sports but wrestling?
yeah.
They kept the wrestling.
It's sports entertainment.
Yeah.
And golf.
And golf.
But you can totally give up
No,
golf.
I'm
I don't,
just-
oh man. Like, unless Mickey Mouse himself is there doing the golfing,
Happy Gilmore
no
experience.
yeah.
I would have like Payne Stewart spelled Pain.
Unless it's like a miniature golf thing where they're just bigger versions of like a lighthouse with a fan on it or something.
Uh-huh.
I would totally.
You can have a
pass.
ride where you get punched out by Bob Barker.
Ooh. Oh well, rest in peace, Bob.
Yeah,
Barker.
there you go. Yeah, rest in peace. Honorable mention.
That would be good though.
Okay.
But if in the dream world they had all the money in the world and they could just buy anything, that's the way I took this. I would love for them to buy out DC Comics and then like own the license for that.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and then be like, we own every superhero on the planet. They are not restricted. The way I looked into like, because it's like Six Flags is the only thing that really had like a DC representation in a park.
And they don't even do it well.
Exactly. So they don't have that weird Mason-Dixon issue with DC that they will with Marvel. But could you imagine that? You put like all your favorite heroes out there, and then if they like that, you already own I guess you could get the movie rights to that. Man, that'd be like the craziest mashup ever. You wouldn't see that, but I would totally pay all the money I have and not even have a house if I could just watch like a Superman versus Hulk movie. I would just totally own that. I have to live here in the man cave if I had that option to do that. That'd be my pick.
It's funny because you bring me thought when you mention Six Flags. So Six Flags also has contracts with Warner Brothers. Granted, that cartoon series, Bugs Bunny and the Gang, and is not as in the public eye as it used to be. But then it also led me to I just lost it.
Knots.
Does Knots have it?
Knots has Peanuts.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, Peanuts. Yeah,
Charlie Brown.
Yeah, because every holiday season,
Okay.
You know, they got the
Great
cartoons
Pumpkin.
that are always shown, and so it's still kind of living in their life, whereas opposed
Yeah.
to the Bugs Bunny cartoons are not really out as much. But yeah, so Knott's has the Peanuts characters. Interesting. Okay. I haven't been to
Yeah.
Knott's Berry Farm in a long, long time.
Okay.
I
I
used
know.
to like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I asked my daughter the exact same question. I said, "Who?" And she said, "Scooby Doo."
That'd be kind of cool. I like
That's
Scooby Doo.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera, 100%. And I believe like
Hanna-Barbera would be great.
Scooby-Doo characters are still appearing in Universal. They don't really have a ride or anything, but I believe the Mystery Machine comes around and you take
Mhm.
pictures with Shaggy and
Yeah.
Scooby. Yeah.
Does
That's a
Universe-
cultural icon.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that's what I would have gone for with this. I mean, in addition for DC, if they were to be
Yeah.
acquired, the library of animation and stuff like that really would help with the Disney Plus content.
Right.
Because I think like DC, they could use a revamp a la phase 1 of MCU. Like if we could have that, that would be awesome. But their library, just like you would say with Bugs Bunny and whatnot, the library of DC animated shorts and comics would, man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why are we not working for these people? There you go.
No, they're just going to
Okay.
listen to our show and take our ideas.
That's true.
That's
That's,
always.
that's some cool stuff.
Copyright Magic our way.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
And JP.
Protect us legally, man. Yeah.
So we've all answered this question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you like a quick bonus question here so we can
Bonus.
bonus because I know
Bonus
JP
round.
has something to say about this.
Oh no,
Should Disney's Animal Kingdom be rethemed?
no,
Go ahead, JP. Why?
because Animal Kingdom is probably one of my favorite parks.
It's one of mine.
It ranks pretty much
Oh.
up there. I do feel like Dino Land has died because of what they had there.
I think you mean extinct.
Hey.
Bum.
That's the Jeff Goldblum line, and yeah.
What as much as I didn't really like care for the area, the what was that area called?
Oh,
Chester and Hester.
Chester and Hester.
Hester's
Yeah.
and Hester's, yes.
Yeah.
So I loved that area only for the theming. Like they put it on a blacktop,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be like oh, we took over this parking lot. There was no parking lot there. They had lines on the floor that looked like it was like a parking lot,
Right.
but it was never a parking lot. I just loved that idea, and a lot of people probably never noticed it. And when I went and I had somebody that was doing, I'm like, look at the floor.
Oh no, yeah.
I was like, look at the floor. That's the best thing about it, is like just the theming in there.
I can see that. Yeah, because you used to have the road
Yeah.
signs too.
Yeah.
I remember that. And
But I
billboards
think
and
that
whatnot. Yeah.
Dino Land needs to be revamped.
Mhm.
And I really think that they are missing out on not bringing back the mythological characters.
Yeah.
And to
100%.
Danny's point, I think Percy Jackson, now that you said it, would be an excellent addition.
Yes.
But bringing back dragons, we need to have that stuff, and that's
Yes.
part of the Animal Kingdom. And that was the original idea. That stuff needs to be there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm tired of. I know I'm gonna get. Don't at me because I'm not gonna tell you it. But Pandora really doesn't belong in Animal Kingdom.
Okay, thank you.
I love the
Yeah.
I love the rides. I love the land. They did a really good job, but I don't think it belongs there.
That was a business decision.
It does not belong there. It's really where Pandora
Yeah.
really shines is at night, and Pandora isn't even open.
You
long
barely
enough
get
for
any
you-
time in there, yeah.
where you can even experience it
Yeah.
at night. So yeah, they really dropped the ball on that one. I would say, look, I'm 1,000% in agreement with JP. Animal Kingdom should probably stay the way it is, but they have to be true to the theming. If you're not ever going to do animals that never existed, and if you're going to get rid of Dino Land, then what are we doing here? You might as well call it Disney's Nature. Kind of like they were going to do with the resort, just Disney Nature, and just come up with your own new thing.
It is a zoo.
And yeah, revamp it because it's just a regular theme park with Kilimanjaro safaris.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good point. That's
Who
fair.
had the "Not a Zoo" slogan?
That was Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
that
Was
was
it Animal Kingdom? Okay.
Yeah, that was
was.
their, when they were first opened. That was their whole big thing. Their big
Yes.
campaign was not to zoo. It's not a zoo.
Not to zoo.
Not a zoo.
Not to
NAHTAZU or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a zoo. Which was, I don't know why I liked it, but it was just so stupid.
No,
You know?
but
I mean,
it's
it
stuck
was-
in your head.
yeah, it
Right.
was effective. The marketing campaign was effective.
Yeah.
It's not
Eli?
a zoo.
I think there's some parts that could be tweaked, but not a complete overhaul because Animal Kingdom is one of my favorite ones too.
Same here.
But yeah, it could use for a more universal sense of. I didn't mean to say universal like that.
Yeah,
But
you did.
It okay. Well, it's stuck. What do you want? But yeah, it could use for a more cohesive sense of theming.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with if they were like, hey, take out the Dino Land, the fair, like, you know, that's like the street fair at the place. And I think Disney is better than that. And I think they should, you know, prove that. But yes, definitely some more cohesive things in it. To what JP said, as far as Pandora, that's a good point because you don't really see any animals or anything that's really there in Pandora to help enhance the fact that you're in Animal Kingdom and you're in a particular
Yeah, you only
section
see them in
of
the
it.
rides.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Not to say I'm not afraid to like shake hands and take pictures with blue women, but I'm just saying it's just
Who are
not
taller than you.
it's not represented. Yeah, well, I'm fine with that.
Well, for the life of me, I can't understand why they seem to believe that Moana belongs in the Animal Kingdom. That's-
Epcot? You mean
No,
why it
Animal
doesn't?
Kingdom.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the
I agree.
last bit of concept art we've seen
Yeah.
was a Moana ride and a Zootopia ride. Okay, Zootopia kind of belongs in the Animal Kingdom, but from a more subjective sense, I would say, because I mean, it's basically animals, but they're animals that act like humans.
Right.
I think that they're just kind of like, unless you're doing Moana, the realm of monsters,
Yeah.
maybe that would be more of a animal centric kind of thing. But if you're putting Moana back there, if you're putting Pandora in there, and you're putting Zootopia in there, at what point in time is this not the Animal Kingdom anymore? It's just a park that happens to have animals in it.
Well, it'll be just as disjunct as like Hollywood
Right.
Studios.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least with Hollywood Studios, you could be like, hey, these are all movies. That's the relative point. If you had to dig for some sort of continuity. But yes, in this case, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's Animal Kingdom. It's not like you're going to have, like, I don't know, like King Kong or something. You know what I mean? With a crown be like, hey, I'm the top of the thing. No, you want some sort of theme and you want some sort of proof of imagination. If you are Disney and you say, we are the mecca of that, let's explore that.
I am highly against Zootopia coming to Animal Kingdom.
I couldn't agree more.
There you go.
I do not want to see any sort of skyscrapers, no matter what they look like,
Right.
in Animal Kingdom. It totally defeats the theming there. And if anything, if we could, there's a possibility of taking maybe underwater and then bringing an underwater land to Animal Kingdom.
You know, it's funny, JP. I was just thinking that it's like because you got the Finding Nemo the musical.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you could take Living Seas and move it over there, then you get the whole aquatic world as part of that. Yeah,
right.
That makes sense. I think that sounds definitely plausible.
Yeah,
for sure.
Then maybe you could add in a Moana attraction.
Yeah.
But I would not want a Moana land because I don't think that there's enough animals in Moana.
Right.
So
Hay's bumper cars.
Everybody gets hit. All the eyes are big.
Yeah.
I just have, I think that park is pretty much Joe Rohde's baby.
Yes.
And he had such a vision. And I don't think anybody can compare to him right now.
No. He left.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of the reason that he did leave. Well, Kevin, I don't know if you've answered this
I
question.
haven't. Yeah, I was going to say no, they shouldn't, but that goes back to my thing about the fifth gate is they need to approve on it.
Right.
And as of right now on Disney Plus, they own Nat Geo, National Geographic, which has a bunch of shows. I mean, shoot, you could do like a stage show of Caesar Milan, how to be a better human for your pets, that kind of thing. You know, I mean, that's his whole concept, you know? I think that, I mean, Caesar Milan's a big name and, the pet thing, you could have that. They got all kinds of things. I think, take advantage of Nat Geo while you got it.
That's very original, Kevin. Good job,
Yeah,
man.
I wasn't laughing at your idea, but I was like, the thought that there's a show about a guy that says, hey, you got to be a better human for the animal that craps on your sofa.
Yeah, that's his whole thing. It's like, a lot of times, like, the reason why your dog acts out is because it's absorbing the energy you're putting out. And so if you're acting the way that you are, then that's why your dog's acting.
Oh, well, then let the dog go out and go to work and then earn a living. Then it'll understand where the negative energy comes from. That's it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I think that would be, if they own Nat Geo, there's plenty of properties that National Geographic over the years has had. And surely, I'm going to say, surely you can be creative and do something. But as we know, a lot of the creativity is coming from a business side. So I don't have hope as far as that point, at least not now.
Yeah.
But I watch the Nat Geo stuff on D+, and I enjoy it. And I like all that kind of stuff to begin with. And the fact that they, it's not even represented in any kind of park, it's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a shame.
No, you're right. That's a definitely.
You brought up Disney's Nature. It's all that stuff's on there.
They got, see, that's the thing, right? Like, to your point, they have a ton of resources they can pull from to enhance any park that, like in this case, it's Animal Kingdom. But yes, they have all of the necessary tools that they wanted to mimic and add to it, but for whatever reason, they just choose not to.
They're risk averse as far as taking chances on things.
Yeah.
That guarantee to make money.
I say more sitar music as well. I just want to throw that out
We
there.
can get some sitar music.
Yeah.
Get that for you.
That makes you happy when you come see your dog. If the dog played the sitar, I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, man, this was a great conversation, guys. And of course, listeners, we're always curious to know what you think about any of these particular topics. And if you want to share your opinions on that, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, y'all, we hope you enjoyed that episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. And look, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions on anything we have talked about today, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, or you can call and send us a text message. Yes, I did say text us at 1-815-MOWican. That is 1-815-MOWican 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple of people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics. Eli, what's up, sir?
Yes, sir. As always, I appreciate the support, love that I always get when you go to the Ivory Comics website. So that's www.ivorycomics.com, where you can see everything I have. That's Project Geisha, Savages, and Molly Be Damned. These are fully colored 48-page books. It's like 2 issues of like a normal like Big Wigs books with less ads in it, so you get more content for your buck, because that's how it should be. Any support I can have on that, I appreciate it. As well as that, you also can get the blog posts and there's interviews, and of course a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. You never miss a beat, you never miss an episode, you never miss insight, you never miss JP. So please, as always, follow Ivory Comics website. Now, if you want to just say, hey, dude, I got questions for you, you can also see my social media and Facebook.com. I can be found there, Eli Chivy, as long as you're a real person. It's always lovely to meet you and shake your hand, kiss your baby. But if you're a bot, I do not need to greet you. I do not need to give you my serial numbers, my social security, any of that stuff, because next thing you know, in the future, John Connor's going to have to come back in from the past and try to save you from a cybernetic version of me, and I don't want that to happen. That's just a terrible thing. Don't want that to
Kiss
go on.
babies.
I have everything I said. You can't kiss babies off of that. I just did a whole thing in the future and everything. Yeah,
Because the first thing I thought, you kiss fur babies too?
I mean, it was a real person.
I thought he was running for office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
All
I'm
right.
advocating. I'm practicing.
Yeah,
right?
man. You do you.
Yeah, that's what I can do. That's all I got. Also, on Facebook, you can go to the Project Geisha page there. So Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Also, on Instagram, posted up the hearts and the likes. And, of course, any clips that are put on from YouTube are also added to my store. So you can get all this other fun content there by going ahead and accessing eIvory504. Take that how you will. Also, on X, it's not Twitter anymore. It's just X. It's so weird. It's really weird.
Love it.
You can find me on X at Hancock 10166. That hasn't changed, but maybe I should just change it to Hancock X and just, keep that consistency going. But
So
yes.
you're going to convert to Islam and become Hancock X?
I already quit eating pork like 10 years ago. May as well just go, full Muslim.
You can add 2 more X's and get yourself
Hey!
an OnlyFans. Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, look, yeah. You appreciate it? He appreciates it.
Dang, Eli, you lost some weight.
I did.
Nice.
That's future me right there. That's what John kind of has to stop right there.
Yep, muscles.
So, yes, absolutely. So, thank you for all the support, the love you give. And if you appreciate the madness, you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation to see Disneyland or Walt Disney World or any of the Disney properties, you can do so through Rachel. Rachel, how do they do this?
This is Rachel, one of the hosts of the Magic Our Way podcast. I would be honored to help your family book your vacation to Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and major hotel brands around the world. Booking with me is at no extra cost to you. The cost of a travel agent is built into the cost of your vacation, whether you use one or not. And when you book with me, a little bit of your trip comes back to support the podcast and the fan community here at Magic Our Way. You can reach me at Rachel, Rachel, at magicourway.com. Or you can find me at R, the letter R, Family Magic. So Our Family Magic on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also give me a call or a text. My phone number is 978-432-WISH. Reach out today and let's make some magic with your family vacation.
And as always, I want to thank our special guest, JP. It is so good chatting with you, man. Glad to have you back on the show.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome.
And
It was fun.
Yes.
man, we look forward to hearing about Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, all your adventures. I know your husband's got to have a chat with Eli on Marvel. We've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, and the making.
And so yeah, we're gonna make that happen. A lot of fun stuff, and it's always a pleasure to chat with you. And hopefully we'll plan a trip and we get to see you out in person once again. Or you're coming here. Maybe you come to New Orleans.
I would rather go meet them.
Yeah, same. I'd rather go out there. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, dude. We definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for everything, JP.
Awesome.
So if y'all want to access all the info we just mentioned, go to magicourway.com/about us. Also, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, go to patreon.com/magicourway. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support this show. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, MOWiCans, we say Kwaherini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.